breaking news.
The Second World War, a conflict of unprecedented scale and devastation, left an indelible mark on human history. From the bomb-ravaged cities of Europe to the remote islands of the Pacific, this global struggle touched the lives of millions. But amidst the chaos and carnage, extraordinary individuals rose to prominence, their actions shaping the course of the war and the destiny of nations. In this series, we journey back to the tumultuous years of 1939 to 1945 to examine the lives and legacies of some of the most famous personalities of World War II. In the heart of Europe, a nation scarred by defeat and economic turmoil became fertile ground for a demagogue to rise. Adolf Hitler, a charismatic yet deeply troubled individual, exploited the simmering resentment and nationalistic fervor of the German people. His ideology, a toxic brew of racial hatred, militarism and expansionism, promised a return to greatness but instead plunged the world into darkness. Hitler's rise to power as Führer of Nazi Germany was swift and absolute. His regime, built on fear and propaganda, systematically dismantled democratic institutions and ruthlessly suppressed any opposition. Driven by an insatiable thirst for power and fueled by a twisted ideology, Hitler's actions would lead to the deaths of millions and leave an indelible stain on human history. As the storm clouds of war gathered over Europe, one man stood defiant. Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Great Britain, embodied the indomitable spirit of a nation facing its darkest hour. With unwavering resolve and stirring oratory, he rallied his people to confront the Nazi threat. Churchill's leadership during World War II was nothing short of inspirational. His speeches, imbued with a blend of defiance, determination and hope, galvanized a nation facing seemingly insurmountable odds. From the evacuation of Dunkirk to the Battle of Britain, Churchill's unwavering belief in ultimate victory proved infectious, inspiring his people to persevere through the darkest of times. Across the Atlantic, another leader emerged to guide his nation through the crucible of war. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, assumed office at the height of the Great Depression, only to be confronted with the greatest conflict in human history. Roosevelt's steady hand and unwavering commitment to Allied victory proved instrumental in mobilizing the vast industrial and military might of the United States. His leadership, characterized by pragmatism, determination, and a deep sense of humanity, helped to forge a powerful coalition of nations dedicated to defeating the Axis powers. In the East, a vast and enigmatic power faced the full brunt of the Nazi war machine. Joseph Stalin, the iron-fisted dictator of the Soviet Union, ruled with an unyielding grip, transforming his nation into a totalitarian state. His policies, while credited with modernizing the Soviet Union, came at a horrific human cost, with millions perishing during his brutal purges. When Hitler's armies invaded the Soviet Union in 1941, Stalin rallied his people to defend their homeland. The Eastern Front became a cauldron of unimaginable brutality and suffering. But the Soviet people, fueled by patriotism and a hatred for the invaders, fought with unwavering tenacity. In the shadow of Hitler's rising power, another dictator sought to revive the glories of a bygone empire. Benito Mussolini, the flamboyant and ruthless leader of fascist Italy, promised to restore his nation to its former grandeur. His regime, built on nationalism, militarism, and a cult of personality, initially captivated many Italians hungry for stability and a return to national pride. However, Mussolini's ambitions outstripped Italy's capabilities, and his alliance with Hitler would prove disastrous. Despite early military successes, Italy's involvement in World War II exposed the weaknesses of Mussolini's regime and ultimately led to his downfall. In the Far East, a rising power fueled by militarism and imperial ambitions set its sights on dominating the Pacific. Emperor Hirohito, the 124th Emperor of Japan, reigned over a nation undergoing rapid modernization and expansion. As head of state, Hirohito held a position of divine authority, revered by his people as a living god. Under Hirohito's reign, Japan embarked on a path of aggressive expansionism, seeking to secure resources and establish dominance in Asia. The attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 brought the United States into the war, transforming the conflict into a truly global struggle. Chapter 7. Dwight D. Eisenhower, the General of Liberation. As the war raged on, a new generation of military leaders emerged, their strategic brilliance and unwavering resolve proving crucial to Allied victory. Dwight D. Eisenhower, a quiet yet determined American general, rose through the ranks to become the supreme commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force in Europe. Eisenhower's leadership was instrumental in planning and executing the largest amphibious invasion in history, D-Day. His ability to inspire and unite a diverse coalition of nations under a single command proved essential in liberating Western Europe from Nazi tyranny. Chapter 8. Douglas MacArthur, the Victor of the Pacific. In the vast expanse of the Pacific Theater, another American general played a pivotal role in turning the tide of war. Douglas MacArthur, known for his flamboyant personality and strategic acumen, commanded Allied forces in the Pacific, where he waged a relentless campaign against the Japanese. MacArthur's leadership during the Pacific War was characterized by bold offensives and a deep understanding of the strategic importance of island hopping. Following Japan's surrender, he oversaw the Allied occupation and reconstruction of Japan, guiding the nation towards a new era of peace and democracy. Chapter 9. Charles de Gaulle, symbol of French resistance. From the ashes of France's defeat in 1940, a new leader emerged, embodying the spirit of resistance against Nazi occupation. Charles de Gaulle, a relatively unknown general, refused to accept his nation's surrender and rallied the Free French forces to continue the fight alongside the Allies. De Gaulle's unwavering belief in France's destiny and his defiant stand against Nazi tyranny made him a symbol of hope for his occupied nation. His leadership during the war and his subsequent role in shaping post-war France cemented his legacy as one of the most important figures in 20th century French history. Chapter 10. Anne Frank, a voice from the shadows. Amidst the horrors of the Holocaust, when millions of innocent lives were extinguished, the story of a young girl emerged as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Anne Frank, a Jewish teenager forced into hiding in Nazi-occupied Amsterdam, documented her experiences in a diary that would become one of the most poignant and widely read accounts of the Holocaust. Anne's words, filled with a mixture of fear, hope, and a longing for a better world, provide a chilling glimpse into the realities of life under Nazi persecution. Her diary, discovered after the war, serves as a powerful reminder of the human cost of intolerance and the importance of fighting for justice and equality. Outro. Legacies of War, Lessons for Peace. The Second World War was a watershed moment in human history, forever altering the geopolitical landscape and leaving behind a legacy of both triumph and tragedy. The individuals we have explored, both heroes and villains, played pivotal roles in shaping the course of the conflict and influencing the world we live in today. Their stories, filled with courage, resilience, ambition, and cruelty, serve as a stark reminder of the human capacity for both good and evil. As we reflect on the sacrifices made and the lessons learned, let us strive to build a world where the horrors of World War II are never repeated.